and welcome to this second webinar of the Prague INSPIRE Hackathon. Today, we will introduce to you the resources that we are making available for you, and we will also give you an overview of the team that has formed and present some of the ideas that are being addressed by this hackathon community. My name is Bente Lilja. I'm one of the partners of NextGeos. I'm also representing Plan for All, the original, I would say, founder of the Inspire Hackathons. In NextGeos, that's a Horizon 2020 project building the next generation European data hub and cloud platform. So these hackathons that we are organizing are, of course, very relevant for what we are doing in NextGeos. With me today, I am lucky to have one of the developers, actually two of the developers of a very exciting open source tool, and you will learn more about that. And you will also get a reminder of what an Inspire Hackathon is if you have attended earlier. And if you're new to us today, you will get a brief overview of what we are planning and what the Inspire hackathons are and the Prague Inspire Hackathon. So before I go on, I will introduce my fellow presenters. So Mikael Kepka, can you say a few words about yourself?
Hello, my name is Mike. I'm a student and researcher at the University of West Bohemia, Pilsen, Czech Republic. And my, let's say, professional field is in sensors and developing of web application dealing with sensor data. And from my research part, I'm orienting on a web map application, so dealing with web.
Yes. And we will learn more from you in this webinar, and we are looking forward to that. And then Karel Harvat, can you introduce yourself as well?
Hello, my name is Karel Harvat. I am working for Wireless Info CCSS. I am one from the people who was on the beginning of Plan for All, and I am representing here NextGeos, Data Bio, EuxDat, Polyvisu, and other projects. I am not direct developer. I am managing usually our developer team, and I will try to introduce some data sets and also tools coming from a previous project.
Yes, thank you, Karel. So today we will start with a reminder and a short introduction to the Prague Inspire Hackathon in general, and then we will focus and get focused and a little deep dive into the SenseLog tool, which is very exciting. And then Karel will continue and introduce more of the tools and the open data resources that we are facilitating the access to through this hackathon. And then we will also introduce some of the teams that has already formed during this open virtual part of the hackathon. And we hope that that might give you some ideas and inspire you to either join one of these groups, it's totally open, or come up with your own ideas based on what you hear and see how you can use this platform to develop and answer some of your questions or challenges that you have identified. Now, before I give the floor to Karel, I will do some housekeeping because we have a chat box here that we would like you to use. So if you could write your name and where you're from in the chat box so that we see that the chat box is working. I'm looking over there because I'm having my eye on the chat box. I can check out if you have some questions. We really encourage you to ask questions during the presentations, and then I will pick it up and we can either try to answer them rather quickly in between the presentations, or we can answer them at the Q&A towards the end of the webinar. So please do write in the chat box here so that we have a contact with you as the audience. And we are anticipating, so I mentioned you the program, and we are anticipating this will take like between yeah, probably closer to 45 minutes than 30 minutes, just to give you an idea of the length of this webinar. So, Karol, can you introduce the Prague INSPIRE Hackathon for us?
Okay. Do you see my presentation?
It's coming.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Prague Hackathon will be organized on Agriculture University on 23rd and 24th of January and focuses on big data, open data, and open sources. The main topics are Earth observation, sensor data, WGI, GNSS technology, and link open data. And the goal of this hackathon, it is a different hackathon, is mainly to connect people from different projects, different experts, but also users with students and others, but to support transferring of knowledge, transferring of data, transferring of software from one project to other, and helping to better sustainability of the research. The goal is to start to speak with local people, and I am happy that, for example, we will have on directly on our hackathon one farmer. So the goal is to, in the discussion among expert, user, eventually student startups, to develop some new type of application. This is shortly about hackathon, and now I would like to give floor back, and I think that now we'll speak Mike.
Yes, thank you, Karol, for a very nice short introduction and reminder of what the Prague INSPIRE Hackathon is. And Mikael, you can introduce us to the SenseLog. I'm very excited to hear about that.
Okay, thank you, Bente. So I've prepared some short presentation about SenseLog. So first of all, SenseLog is a web-based data management system, and it's able to store, manage, and publish sensor data from different resources and in different ways. It can be used as a central point for administrating of sensor data, so not only by receive and store it to database, but to use it as, let's say, publisher data for different application and for different end users. So SenseLog is providing RESTful API on both sides for receiving and for publishing data. The data are stored in data model implemented in Postgres database with spatial extension PostGIS. So we are able to use a variety of analytical services inside of the database management system. Here is the structure of SenseLog. Yeah, you can see that there is some SenseLog core, let's say. It's core of the application that is able, or it's responsible for modeling, for converting data to objects and store it. For first meeting, most of the application is meeting feed module that is consuming data from gateways or from directly from sensors. On the opposite side, there is provider module. That is the module that most of the clients or most of the users will use it. And in between, there are, let's say, extension modules for telemetry of machinery or for cars, or module for WGI. So in this meeting point, we are able to deal with WGI data or information. Most of the modules are using REST API, and provider module is using a standardized API based on sensor observation service in version 1. So in this case, we are dealing with standardized interface. On this slide, you can see the database model of SenseLog, the core part of the model. Here you can see that the central table is table for units. Every unit is the measuring unit. So if you have, let's say, a smartphone, so the smartphone is one unit that has several sensors connected to it. Here you can see sensors. And one unit with several sensors is producing observations and units positions. So these tables are the tables that are holding or carrying most of the data that are collected. On this slide, you can see extension model or extension profile of SenseLog core model. These tables are oriented on WebGL data. So we are able to store WebGL as observation as well. So that is possible to store WebGL from different categories or from different sources. We have several extensions of SenseLog. One of the most important at this moment is the WebGL. So it's storing observation from web or from mobile application. And we have spent a lot of time by implementing this extension as much general as possible. So we are able to store WebGL observation from different sources, and it doesn't matter what kind of attributes are presented or what data types are presented in the observation. So we have only few mandatory attributes, and rest of the attributes are optional according to the producer or data producer. So here come some examples of usage of SenseLog. One example is example of data that are produced by static in situ measuring units. So we are here is level of groundwater measured. So each point of the map is one unit that is measuring level of groundwater that is presented in the bottom side of the web page on, let's say, point chart. Just chart that is presenting the last values or trends, or it depends what you would like to present. Second example is oriented on measuring or tracking of mobile sensors or mobile carrier with sensor. In this point, there is shown sensors that are deployed on some mobile carrier. In this point, we have, let's say, list of sensors as well and chart of last values. At this point, or this example is example of mobile application oriented on WebGL. Here is collection of tourist guides or tourist signs in the city center, and you are able to get information directly from the tourist site, or you are able to add new information to some symbol or to the site. And it's connected to visualization of points of interest. Here is the same example of previous one. Here is tracking data of sensors. So in this example, we have GNSS position of the carrier. In this case, it's tractor or agriculture machinery. So you can see usage of the tractor or last track or log of work that was done by this tractor. Last slide is oriented of new version of SenseLog that we would like to first introduce during the hackathon. The new version is completely rewritten in last version of Java, and it's using modern framework called Spring, so it's completely rewritten according to previous version. And this new version was designed as more scalable and very easy to run on cloud. So we would like to use it as an example of cloud application, and to use it for more applications or more use cases in the future. We have completely rewrite API of the SenseLog, so now it's fully compatible with fruit scheme of the services. So the user will be able not only to update data or read the data, but to create or delete objects as well. One new feature that is very important is implementing of new filtering and sorting mechanism. So the user won't be only limited by the predefined filtering services, but the users will be able to filter according to the needs of current application at this moment. So here are some URLs. You can find the first version of SenseLog in GitHub repository. The new version will be deployed just before the hackathon. You can visit or find more information about SenseLog on our website, senselog.org. So I will be happy to meet you on hackathon personally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikael. I have some questions, but before I ask them, I would like people to remind the audience that you can ask questions in the chat box to Mikael, here and now. So please do that. There will be some delay. So while you are doing that, asking your questions, I will ask you, or ask Mikael. This tool you showed us quite a detailed. You gave a detailed overlook, I would say, of the tool. Now, for those who are contemplating using this tool, it sounds to me that you can. So, if you are in a citizen science project, say, you could have either use an app on your phone, and that would be and collect data via an app on the phone. And that could be collected by, and you can use the SenseLog to manage those data, right?
Yes.
Yes. And you can also have, in some cases, you can buy like private meteorological kits and put in your garden or whatever you want. And that's also a part of sort of a citizen science project. And that could also be then collected by SenseLog and managed by SenseLog. And yes. One of the advantages of doing this, as I understand, is that you can actually, through that tool that you have, you can upload or connect to other databases. Say, like I'm coming from representing also NextGeos, and we are building this data hub for Earth observations. So through an API, could you then connect several different types of sensors? Is that what this tool you described can do?
Yeah, if the sensor is able to, or the gateway is able to publish or send the data in the way that we need. So it means the gateway is possible to configure own, let's say, HTTP request, then it's possible to send it to SenseLog. So it's very easy to insert data by GET method of HTTP protocol.
Exactly. So that could be a very useful tool for citizen scientists and private providers, if you like. And meanwhile,
I would like, because I am also managing the list of pilot, I would like to add that there are there is one pilot which would like to connect with SenseLog, the most used protocol now, LoRa and Sigfox, to be able to integrate it in SenseLog, the data from LoRa and Sigfox. So probably it will be not finalized during the hackathon, but they will start the first discussion how this now the industrial protocols integrated with SenseLog.
Yes, that's a good example, Karol, so of what people can use this Prague INSPIRE Hackathon platform for. They can test out the connection, say, with SenseLog and whatever sensor they have. That's something they could do in the framework of this hackathon. But we have a question, Stefan Bischoff from Leipzig. He wonder if we can find examples of JSON requests to SenseLog on our website. On your website, I assume you mean the SenseLog website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible, but because SenseLog is using the SenseLog version 1, now I have to say, it's mostly using get method. So it's possible to get to see the list of get methods. It's possible to load data or publish data. So you can go through the API or look, and if there will be some comments, so let's write or let me know what's the problem. I hope that the API is described, let's say, good. I hope. If
not, they can just send a comment and you can improve the description. That's one of the output. And Marie-Françoise comment and says, and make us aware of, that it's possible to access data via the Next.geo's data hub from SenseLog. So it's already
not
possible.
Yet at this moment.
It's not okay. Is it? No, it's a question. Yeah. Sorry, Marie-Françoise. But this is definitely something we want, right? And it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done, and I hope in the future it will be done.
Yes. Excellent. Yes, Marie-Françoise, we got it sorted. I think we continue now. We can have more questions towards the end. I'd like to, so SenseLog is a wonderful tool that we are making available through this hackathon. So already you can go through senselog.org, as you said, Mikael. And if you travel to Prague, the 23rd and the 24th of January, you will have a unique opportunity to work directly with the developers of this tool. So that's a very nice opportunity. But we have more. Karol, can you present more of the resources that we are making available through this Prague INSPIRE Hackathon?
Yeah, I will start with the data, the most important data sets. As I would like at the beginning to speak about 3 huge data sets. At the beginning, I mentioned that one from the goal of this hackathon is to guarantee sustainability of the data and result, and here are 3 data sets which was developed in previous project SDI for apps, Open Transport Net and Foodie, and now these data sets are managed by Plan for All, and we are trying also using hackathon and other event to move this data towards the different community. I will shortly introduce this data. So Open Transport Map data are data initially transformed from OpenStreetMap, but they are transformed into INSPIRE compatible form, and they are routable. This is one important issue. And second important issue is that we add to this data traffic volume. Traffic volume is some model or statistical calculating of standard traffic in some certain period of the day. So but it is on the places where people are living, where people are working, and it is some tool which is mainly useful for city planners. this data open transport map are now in that form like WFS and other. And as a result of previous hackathon, our colleagues from Poznań, from Supercomputing Center, also transferred into RDF forms. If any work with RDF data, data are also in RDF form. I know that there will be one hackathon dealing with this data and supporting almost formation of this traffic volume, because normally the traffic volume is calculated on the server, and then the data are published. Now some guy from Pilsner University is working on cloud solutions that, for example, city planner will be able to put mark, I will close this road and this road, and what will happen in the city. So this is some way how is chance for the people to make planning more effective with this. Smart point of interest is the huge database in RDF. Together into RDF, the data point of interest from different sources, OpenStreetMap, different local data. Currently, there is more than 27 million of the data, and the data are already linked with other data like DBpedia and other. It is used for different application, like for example, now they are prepare some 3D visualization and work with ski point of interest, specific location which anybody can find on the map. And as you already heard, there is also some development on the SenseLog develop application how to make updating of this database using SenseLog. The last database is Open Land Use Map. It is land use which is for all European Union. It is based on available data. There is again use INSPIRE model based on HALUX. So the data use the same model in any European country. There is no the same geometry accuracy in all countries. It depends on the availability of the data, but the map is seamless and cover all Europe with the same model. It is possible easy to update any city in Europe with more accurate data, and it's possible this data download, and there is also developed metadata system to be possible search for the single cities and also for origin of the data. This metadata system is now under the development. So these are three big database. What we also start on last hackathon is to start develop open land use for Africa, and we are looking for people ready to cooperate with us on this model. Till now, it's not cover all Africa. I think that it is cover something like 20%, but we hope that we will be able to cover all Africa and start also with improvement of this data. Other data which are planned for hackathon are the data from farm Rostenice. It is a huge farm in the Middle Moravia. The farm has, I think, 10,000 hectares, and it is one from the pilot farm which we use. And we are happy that agronomists of this farm will also come for hackathon. And the goal is to work on usage of satellite data, but also, the idea is to test it API from MeteoBlue, which is for meteorological data, and with satellite data. So we have from Rostenice farm yield, we have crop rotation, yield potential, and we have all LPs from this farm, and this data will be during the hackathon freely open for any experimentation. So the goal is to find some good solution for the farmers with real data. You can see that this farm was already used also in the previous hackathons with 3D visualization, and MetaBlue is a Swiss company which forecast, and there is special API for farmers with forecast weather and other parameter. It is working in 3 to 3 kilometer, and the goal is to use this API for improvement of operation on the level of API will be, it is commercial system, but API will be fully open during the hackathon. And from satellite images, they will be available data from Landsat and Sentinel-2. Now about the main tools, you heard already from Mike about SenseLog. Second most important tool is Edge Layers NG. You can see here the GitHub, and if you will look in these days, you can see that there were big movement on GitHub because had a meeting in Valmiera in Latvia to prepare new version for hackathon, and information for developers. Open Layers is extension of Edge Layers is extension of Open Layers. Now using Material, you can use this as mobile or web application. There are such things like integration of 3D visualization, integration of the work with RDF data, and what we see as very important is the model of map composition, and I think that is something what we would like to discuss with other, because for normal user something like WMS, WFS, and also JSON data is too complex. So with this system we start to support something what we call map composition, and experts can prepare the mixture of map from different sources and store this as map composition which could be used by non-expert. If we are speaking about OGC, there were in the past standard web map context, but which is now not I think very active. So we in the beginning we start with this, but then we extended this standard and develop some JSON scheme which is used. You can find this JSON scheme also on the web pages of Edge Layers. Second is the library WebGL layer, which allowed you some advanced visualization of the data, selecting the diagrams, selecting the time period, combining the different data, and online analysis of big data. This is other tools, and what is also available is Inspire extension for Secon. There will be also developer of this extension, and it allowed you to use Inspire compliant metadata inside of the Secon, and it also allowed to work with this data as with RDF. So this is about data and tools which we prepare for you. I will interrupt if there are some questions, and then I will a little repeat how you can participate.
Thank you so much, Karel. As you could see and hear, there's a lot of resources made available for you. I don't know if you noticed, but when Karel showed you each of the sources and the topics, there was a specific address on Plan for All, the web page. So there is a specific web page where you can find all this information gathered. So it will be easy for you to check it out also after this presentation. Now we have a question from Mario Huffler. And he asks if we plan to test API and data from PESSL instruments, PESSL. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, we know we will be very happy. We are discussing if somebody from PESL Instruments will come for hackathon. There is some promise, but till now not officially confirmed. The idea is yes to test this because we are working with PESL on EUXAT project. So I hope that people from PESL will come and we will have the possibility. We have some description of the API, and this is one from the API which we would like connected, because really our dream is to make from SenseLog some sensors brokerage platform which will be able to combine and manage data coming from different platforms.
Excellent. And Mario also provided us with a link, so you can check if that's the same link that you have. So thank you so much, Mario. There's lots of resources. There are already some teams forming, and I just want to repeat that. You are welcome to join the existing teams and work on these challenges that has been identified. And while seeing all this work being done, maybe you get inspired and come up with ideas that is, spin-offs of what you see, or you just come up with something totally new. You are free to form these groups during this hackathon. The deadline for participating is the 22nd. To register for the meeting in Prague, that is the 22nd of January. So just a reminder there. Yes. What else? I
would like to go fastly with explanation how to register it. Yes, again, yes. I will repeat from the first event.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, this. So first, you have registered on this address. This address is available also on planforall.eu web pages. Simple form for registration, and then you can go on Google. There is again very simple collaborative space. And on this collaborative space, you can find description of all projects. You can put your name into existing projects, or you can form your own project there. And when you will form your projects on this collaborative space, this information will be later second day available also on Plan for All portal, and will be shared to the social media. So it will be also some awareness about your plan activity before, so you will have chance to be contacted by other people. I would like to add also one thing, that during hackathon they will run also some workshops parallelly with this, and there will be one workshop organized by Project Watifi, and it will be mainly information about matchmaking event which will be in May in Tuscany. Then our NCP for ISA will make some introduction or presentation about ISA programs which will come in the next year. So it will be a chance to learn more what will be possible to finance different activity in ISA. There will be from ISA BIC will prepare some short introduction how to start business in space. I will try to present it the idea, the possibility how to use Horizon 2020 for some extension of the idea, and how in the future will be possible to cooperate, and there eventually will be the space for some matchmaking or contacting the people for the project. And second day, Thomas Resnick will speak about metadata, how to make metadata more simple for the people, and also about GeoDCAD and metadata semantic approach. So this is some additional program which will run parallelly with hackathon. Anybody who will be interested to join this workshop again can register, and it is not necessary that you will directly hack, but these workshops will be again open for anybody. So this is from my presentation, but now I would like maybe shortly go also through the web page with project. Just second, I have to switch again. Now at the beginning we see the tunnel.
Not yet, but it will come, I guess.
I think that I hope the tunnel is coming. No, again.
Are you trying to share your web browser? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
We don't see it yet.
Seems that tunnel is coming. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So okay. I will switch to other, and shortly about till now registered team. Team 1 is about this using Sentinel-2 and LPS data for crop detection. It's planned to make some tests on this Rostenice farm, how the data from different time period could be used for detection of different crops. Second project is from Leipzig. I think that people from Leipzig are here on our webinar, and it is integrating of Albatros platform with SenseLog. Then is one project coming from Data Bio, and it is visualization of the data for fishery. It is in some cooperation between Czech and Spanish people, but I think the Spanish will participate only remotely with the data, but there is to prepare some first test for this project. I already spoke about this REST API for traffic modeling. This is this online calculating of traffic volume for cities. From French, we have the group of people who are interested to migrate SenseLog into NoSQL. So this is other could be more basic development, but it's some test what could also show us what is more effective, if in which cases is more effective we use with SQL and in which with NoSQL databases. And other idea is to test how SenseLog could work on the cloud. And I mentioned also the integration of LoRa and Sigfox connectors for SenseLog. So these are current project. You are all welcome to come with your ideas and to add something. Of course, in the end, some ideas could be formed also during the hackathon, but it's better to prepare people and announce for people already in advance the possibility of some new pilots and some new cooperation, because what we really would like that the team from different projects, different countries, different teams will work together and try to do something together, because this is the main goal of INSPIRE Hackathon, working together and moving something better.
Thank you so much. Well said, Karo. And I would also add that there are at least two ways you can approach a participation here. Based on what you just heard about the resources and the different teams that already have formed, you can both make use of the data, say, and the tools, the software tools, for addressing a problem that you have. Or you can also become a part of the team that are further developing the tools or combining the resources. I mean, since this, for instance, the SenseLog team of developers will be there, there's definitely a good opportunity. If you're interested in developing the software tool itself, that's also a possibility. Just mentioning that. That there are at least two ways you can you can approach this and participate in this hackathon. Another aspect, and you said it already, Carol, but I would like to underline it, that these hackathons, these INSPIRE hackathons, are special in the sense that we are not having a single event isolated from the next event. So we are trying to glue this together to create some continuity in the work that are being done by the teams that are forming. We have an example from the former hackathons where a group address one topic and another group address a similar but not exactly the same. But so they work on their topics and they get a result. And during that hackathon, they identify, oh, well, it would be a good idea. We would have something interesting done if we combine what we have been doing, the results we have been doing, and they see the problems or the challenges connected and form a new group. So we are facilitating that kind of work. And so you are free to use this platform the way that you think is the best fit for you. So I don't know if we have more questions. There's a last chance to ask some questions now. You learn from Carol, and you can watch the replay. If it was too fast for you, you can watch the replay, which will be sent at least at the latest tomorrow in your email box. So you will get it without any efforts to see all the details. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say as a conclusion. Any last words for you guys? I think I was asking for questions. I don't see that we have any yet, but you can answer questions also after this webinar when you get the email from us with the replay. So with that,
please don't forget to register yourself.
Exactly. Everybody who wants to come to Prague, make sure you register through the link that Carol provided you, and that you will see in the replay as well. I think actually I will try to. I don't have it at my hand right now, but I will find it afterwards and paste it into the chat box. So if you keep that open, you will get the registration page in the chat box. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Mikael. Thank you, Carol. And thank you, everybody attending this webinar. I certainly hope to see you in Prague. And if not, I hope to see you also attending virtually in these teams that has been formed. Thank you so much. And bye-bye. Have a lovely weekend.
It is really not last INSPIRE Hack this year, and we will inform you about next events organized under this umbrella.
Absolutely. So, we have good ideas. See you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.